Today, I'm going to show you how I use AI to make sure that I have the best possible trip. No more spreadsheets, no more endless Googling. This is the way that you can have a personalized trip that is completely tailored to you and allow you to have some flexibility in the moment as well. So listen in and I'll give you 5 prompts that'll make sure that you have an amazing trip anywhere you go. For the last 2 years, it feels like pretty much every single person and their dog has been talking about AI. But I personally believe that AI can actually make a real difference in your trips. So I'm going to walk you through 5 prompts that I find very useful for getting me in the right position on any trip that I go on. So the first thing you need to know about any AI, not just when trying to use it for travel, is that you need to give it a lot of context. So in this case, you don't want to just have a message saying, tell me the best things in Rome. You want to give examples of what you do enjoy and what you don't enjoy to allow AI to provide you with the experience that will suit you best. So let's jump in. So I'm going to give you a quick example here of a prompt that I think is very useful to get the most out of a quick question about an area. I'm planning a 5-day trip to Split in Croatia. Here's my travel profile. I've got in here my budget, my interests, pace, accommodation preference, and also past trips that I've loved. This gives a lot of context, which then helps it to form a bit of an opinion around what you should be doing. And then you go further to explain exactly what you want it to do. So insight first, and then an explanation around what you want. So create a day-by-day itinerary that matches this style. And I've specifically said here that I want it to include photography spots, local food markets, and unique neighbourhoods, as well as approximating daily costs and travel time. I'm asking a lot of it, and we'll see how the results go. So here we are now. As you can see, it's started off with really breaking down the budget, and then it starts to go through a bit of a guide on what to do for each day, just as requested. And you can see it's doing a very good job of approximating the spend and breaking down where that might be coming from. So now that that's loaded, let's have a quick look at what it's actually done, and we'll do a bit of a dive into one of the days. So as we can see here, it's given us a quick overview of Split at a glance, and it's given us some suggestions around accommodation and food costs, and then giving us a rough estimate on what the budget would be overall. And then it also explains that it leaves a little bit of a buffer for a few other things. So we're going to look at day 1 first, and you can see here it's suggesting checking an Airbnb, which is accounted for, which is absolutely great. And then it tells you to walk over to this little restaurant here, and it's also recommended to have cevapi, which just from being over in Croatia, I would say if you're going there, you have to try it. And then it's recommending that we explore this palace. And it also tells you a time, and it's giving me this time specifically because I've said that I don't really want to be there when there's lots of tourists. You can see it also says here it's great for soft light details. And the reason that it's giving me this information is because it's part of the prompt that I gave it originally. So this is where the real secret is that you want to make sure that you're letting it know what your interests are, because that's going to give a bit more insight into what it actually needs to provide you with. So then from there on, we go on to the afternoon, and it recommends going to this location for lunch and also market as well. So as I said, again, directed by the prompts. And then the evening, it's recommended a viewpoint for some panoramic photography spots. So for me, this sounds pretty ideal, and it should do, seeing as it's actually my prompt. You can see already how powerful this tool is, because it's really honing in on what you want to do exactly, and also give you insight on spending and potentially even travel times. You have to remember though, when you take this prompt, you need to guide it to what your interests are. Otherwise, it's just going to tell you to do what I would do. So let's move on to the next prompt that I find really useful, and that's to give you some real-time guidance on whatever you're doing. I'm currently in Dubrovnik Old Town. It's 3 p.m. and I give it a guideline of what I'm looking for. So you can see here I'm giving it time, location, and then also the exact thing that I'm interested in. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me a suggestion based on this. It's actually going to give me 3 because I've specified that. So we're just waiting here for it to load in. And as we go here, it's going to give some insights around things that are less likely to be a tourist trap, but also have good seafood, exactly as I asked. And here you can see there's 3 options here. And This is, again, a really good way to get insight into what you might want. And it might also just be a starting point so that you can then go and search it on Instagram or Google. Or the other option is you continue down this route with AI. So what you can see here, as I've said, the first option looks good. And what's the Croatian etiquette for ordering seafood? Is there anything I should avoid? It's given me a little bit more insight into the actual restaurant. And it's said that locals go there as well. So it's piquing my interest immediately. And then it's giving some examples of what to order and how to order it. So you can see here, it tells you how to ask for the fish of the day in the actual local language, which is obviously very nice. It makes you feel a little bit more integrated into your holiday destination. And as you can see, it also gives you some insights around how it's actually ordered by weight. If you want to be a bit more budget conscious, you can ask for a smaller fish, which is not even something I would have thought of, but here you are. As you can see here, there's a lot of other insights as well that really help make this a bit of an easier experience. But you can also do this for anything. You could say that you're in Singapore airport and you have a 3-hour layover. What are some good options to do? And it'll start to give you some ideas of what's around, and you kind of just follow it down the rabbit hole and figure out what might suit you best. So this next one is probably one of my favorites because I really prefer to go and investigate the things that are a little bit less traveled. So I'm going to put this prompt through now. And essentially what it's asking is, I'm traveling to Lake Bled in Slovenia next month, and I want to explore places that aren't typical on the travel guides, are actually frequented by locals, not tourists, and show authentic Slovenian culture. I've also specified that I want hidden viewpoints, local cafes, neighbourhood markets, and natural swimming spots. And of course, I've also said that I am interested in the photography. This is really interesting here because it gives you a pretty good layout of what some of the options are here. And again, I was very lucky to go to Slovenia on this trip, specifically Lake Bled. And I do have a few photos that look a little bit similar to this. And it is no secret that I did find this out because we did a little bit of searching specifically with AI to figure out some of the best spots in the area. This is the one that we did. And it is an excellent little spot that you can go, and you probably wouldn't really be aware of it unless you had done your research. So this does help to really get you a bit of insight. And the other thing that's very nice as well is it gives you some idea of what the pictures might look like that you get. It's nice that ChatGPT actually incorporates some of the images in. And again, that just gives you more information. And then we've got some dot points that really give us insight into some of the other spots that we put on our list. So like the natural swimming spots and quiet waters. And you get the general idea here, which is you can really hone in what you want it to find you. So this is something that's important to me, where I really like to feel like I'm trying to integrate with the culture that I'm experiencing. And I think the best way to do that is try and follow the local etiquette. And you get a bit more insight into the people, and people tend to treat you a little bit less like a tourist and a little bit more like a local. So we're going to put this prompt in here. I'm traveling to Milan, the Dolomites and Lake Garda. I want to be respectful and not commit cultural mistakes. Please explain. And then I've given it a list here. You can see the list here, and again, the prompts are in the description, but restaurant etiquette, tipping, paying, and noise level in dining time. So this is something that allows you to get a bit more insight into the environments that you're going into, and just make sure that you're treating the country that you're exploring with respect. We're just going to jump in this first one here, and it gives you a quick idea of what you need to do in terms of restaurant etiquette. So tipping here, it says that there's a cover charge, so generally it's included in the bill unless the service is excellent, in which case you might give €1 to €3, or basically just rounding the bill up. It's not like in America where you give large tips. You also want to be asking for the bill because they're not just going to bring it to you. It's a little bit different here in Australia. Pretty much once your meal's done, someone's going to come and talk to you and be like, okay, it's time to move on. Not in Italy. The other thing is, this is really insightful as well. From being in Italy, you can tell that the Italians are loud and expressive people, but it turns out when in restaurants, it's more respectful to be a bit more quiet, not take phone calls. And this is, again, something that you wouldn't really know about unless you actually went and looked into it. So this last prompt is going to be one that you might not have thought of, but it's definitely very useful. And it could probably save you from having a terrible trip. When you go into a new country, you don't always know what you're in for. That can be even more true for the weather. This prompt does help you with this situation, and that's basically to help you make sure that you pack everything you need. And I find this incredibly useful because generally I have a pretty good idea of what I want to bring, but sometimes I don't always know everything. Here you can see that it's really broken down what you need and why. So it's said that we need base layers, mid layers, outer layers, bottoms, footwear, and accessories. And just from looking at this briefly, it's pretty clear that this is a good list, especially for the hiking, which makes sense because we're really talking about going to the Dolomites, which is a hiking destination. You can see here as well, it's probably not overpacking, which is what you want to make sure that you don't end up with way too much to carry. And then the other thing that's really insightful here is it is also giving you information about often forgotten items. And again, this is just so helpful because you don't often remember these because these are the most forgotten things. And some of them are just like not that intuitive. Hut slippers. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that, but if you have to remove the boots, it's pretty clear that you might need them. All right, so let's recap with what we've gone over today. A prompt for personalized itinerary planning, and then we have real-time recommendations for wherever you are, whether it's to grab a bite to eat or maybe to find a cafe to do some work. And then some local insights, or as I like to call them, hidden gems that not everyone knows about. Another important one that often gets overlooked, which is cultural etiquette. And then the final prompt is, as we just mentioned, the smart packing. Again, I think that's a bit of a lifesaver. It's very underrated. You don't realize until you've left something behind how much of a game changer that can be. All the prompts that I've used today, I'll leave in the description below so that you can tailor them to yourself. If you do end up using one of them, let me know in the comments below which one you used first and if it was useful. I'd be very interested to know. If you felt like this video was informative and helped you, then please like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. I post regularly about travel content around the world, and I'm certain there's going to be more information that uses AI and technology, as those are two passions of mine. All right, happy travels, and remember that the best trips aren't necessarily the most expensive ones or the ones that you see the most things. It's the ones that are tailored to you. And now you have the tools to make that happen. All right, I'll see you in the next one.